What about it, Asheville, North Carolina? So, never forget Ben Livingston, okay? And we won't watch this entire thing, but it's important that people don't forget that this crap that just happened in Asheville could have been knocked down to category 1 or 2 tropical storm. And the likelihood, since they can add or subtract energy to a weather system, the likelihood now becomes that they did this crap on purpose, especially since the usual suspects are in charge of all the key institutions like Homeland Security, FEMA, and the mayor of Asheville, all magically, coincidentally, just notice that they're all part of the same godless tribe that rejects Jesus Christ. Anyway, here's Ben Livingston. Never forget Ben Livingston, Asheville, North Carolina.
My name is Ben Livingston. I'm the first person to ever see a cloud with the intention to cause it to do military damage. I know I can say that, and I did it several times before the next person did it.
Tell me what these clouds are we're looking at.
Well, these clouds were located up in the southern part of North Vietnam, and we needed to make rain down on the Ho Chi Minh Trail, Highway 1. But there weren't any real clouds around. There were a number, this was the end of the monsoon season, but there were a number of these small clouds that barely reached the freezing level, and by putting a small amount of silver iodide in there, we got them to collect and start to build. And as they built, we just worked on the largest tower in the group until in just a very short time, we had clouds that were...
You told me this cloud got 14 inches of
Well, this cloud, of course, this is all the same cloud. Officer, top secret, eyes only, as high as you can get. I got interested in weather modification when I was a farm boy. I never could understand why the clouds wasn't bigger, had a little more shade, and was chopping that cotton. So I got in the Navy. I managed to get into meteorology school, and I think that's really where I learned the most of my physics. I was assigned to the Typhoon Squadron in Guam, where I served for 3 years as a flat meteorologist and meteorological engineer. From there, I came back to some additional school at Texas A&I University down in Gainesville. And from Kingsville, they sent me to the Hurricane Hunter Squadron in Jacksonville, Florida. That squadron, of course, had just become involved in Project Storm Fury. So when I reported to that duty station as a meteorological engineer, I was immediately designated the military member of the Storm Fury Advisory Board. We were doing quite a lot of testing work out over the test range at China Lake, California, where we dropped cloud seeding flares or silver iodide generators into clouds, or just where we wanted to see what the reaction was. And it was there when I learned for sure that you can really change a cloud by the amount of silver iodide you put in and where you put it. This cloud here, from the time it started raining till it quit, it put out a little over 14 inches of precipitation.
What did that do to the North Vietnamese?
Well, it just washed all the roads out, and there was a bridge attached to a mountain that bombed and could not get rid of it. This heavy rain washing down that river took that bridge out.
So you guys finally got it done.
This was on October 13th. These are cloud seeding dispensing units on the side of C-130s. As you can see, these units held 52. These dispensers held 52 units. And under here on this F4, we had these camouflage so they looked like they were.
Did you fly those?
Yes.
You piloted the F4?
Yeah.
So you're a jet pilot too, huh?
Yeah, I did it for about 7 years.
You fly them all, huh? That's neat.
And these were our own airplanes. The airplanes I had in my commercial cloud seeding business. See? And a Duke, and a turbocharged Duke, of course, and Cessna 310 and a Turbo 210. And we built the flares that built them into the wings of our airplane so that they caused as little resistance as possible, or drag as possible. And this right here, these are pyrotechnics that we've cut in sections and fused them so that they could burn either singles or a pair, or cut half in two, or cut in 3 pieces, or cut in 5 pieces. So you can see obviously here, although these are dispensed in the vertical, they are essentially a horizontal cloud seeding device. See, that's how we made these clouds like in Vietnam work, because we could take a cloud, take pyrotechnic like this, it had a little bitty piece in it, and would fly by and just barely touch the cloud with one part. So that kept from blowing the thing apart, blowing the cloud up. So what we would do, and like in Carla or Rita, those kind of clouds, we would maybe use, this is one cloud seeding device here, cut into 5 pieces. But in one like this, you may be flying 350 miles an hour, kicking one out every 200 or 300 meters, and just essentially seed the whole area on the horizontal, and the whole top will blow away.
Amazing.
We were the first ones to fly into hurricanes for the purpose of modifying them, if you will. That was Project Storm Fury. I began to be extremely confident that we could do whatever about what we wanted to with a hurricane. The Project Storm Fury had been going on since 1961, and they had already done 2 experiments, one in 61 and 63. Well, by 1964, when I was there in 1964, I wrote the plan and started to have a track and a mission for every flight that was on the hurricane cloud seeding experiments. So we had documentation for everything. Operation Project Storm Fury are very positive. This report said that we claim they should consider now if a hurricane heads straight towards Miami. Some wanted to continue hurricane reductions, and the other part did not want to. It was a political football. And there are people that were wanting to do more pure research and less application engineering wanted to kill Project Storm Fury. So they built up an artificial barrier that prevented hurricanes from ever qualifying to be experimented or seeded for damage reduction. NOAA research people came up with data that suggested that if a hurricane went through a certain little geographical area, there was no history in 100 years that a hurricane had been through that area ever reached land. So they made a requirement that the storm must go through this area of, I call it the area of improbability, before it would qualify for hurricane damage reduction attention. So after about 10 years, no hurricanes went through there, and the people, that is the scientists who didn't want to spend money on aircraft reconnaissance, decided, well, it's too expensive, we can't wait any longer, so they killed the project altogether. I am terribly disappointed that the government have decided a long time ago not to do the hurricane damage reduction anymore. They can talk about the scientifically rigorous data, the inability of civilian aircraft and so forth to collect this data, and poo-poo the empirical, I didn't say the observations that you make just by looking out the window or watching your instruments, saying it has no value. In order to change the weather and know that you're changing it, you must have instrumentation or documenting. So my line of business really was to design and make equipment that would document changes in the weather. You take a cloud that Mother Nature or God has provided, and you alter that cloud. Well, the reason the cloud doesn't expand on its own in most cases is the fact that there's a lot of moisture, but there's no nuclei. There's nothing for the moisture to stick to. So when you provide the silver iodide nuclei, it causes the water to coalesce to that nuclei, and when it does, it releases heat, which means everything starts to rise. If you produce enough nuclei at the right places in a cloud, there's essentially no limit to how fast and how far it'll grow, because it just keeps releasing heat as it goes up, and of course the heat keeps trying to rise.
So with the nuclei, it's very small and they're put off by these flares, but then water starts attracting to it and then it builds condensation.
Well, you put out a G into these.
All right, forgive the whole Alex Jones thing. The fact of the matter is, they can add or subtract energy to these weather systems. So, ZOG hates you, Asheville. All right, and noticing that ZOG hates you and attacked you and cares nothing about how you suffer, all the agencies do is go there to stop any kind of help from happening. They actually don't help. Okay, this is because ZOG hates you, and you should notice it, and you're not bad for noticing it. Okay, doesn't make you the hater to notice when somebody hates you. When someone's the bully at your school, I mean, would you be bad for noticing it? So don't be afraid to notice who the bully is on planet Earth and in Asheville, North Carolina. All right, God bless.